Hey guys, what's happening? It is CJ from Handigraphs, and I want to walk you through how you can use our new player card or player profile feature for starters and batters. So I'm on the starters table, and one of the guys I know coming into today that I was kind of curious to see on the matchup is former Met, Luis Severino, and you can see a lot of blue right here. His road splits actually have been okay this year, but I want to kind of dive in deeper and see how he's going to compare to the lineup today. So all you have to do on desktop, you can actually click the player name. You can also click the magnifying glass. And on mobile, you will always just click the magnifying glass to pull up the player card. So once you get here, you're going to see there are 4 or 5 different tabs that you can go to. The first one that you can start with is the stats tab. So this is all of the splits that you would have originally on the table, but now you can dive deep and kind of look at each of those individual splits right through here. So actually in the last 3 he's been okay. On the season he's been, you know, what we would kind of expect from Luis Severino, but on the whole he's been a little bit better. But one of the really cool things that's part of this feature is when you look at the bottom, you're going to see the opposing lineup. And what this opposing lineup is calculating is not actually the team stats, but it's the lineup stats for the lineup that the pitcher is facing. So what that means is the 9 projected batters that are in the lineup, these stats will calculate dynamically. So you're not actually looking at the full sort of team stats in general. This is dynamic to who that pitcher is actually facing today, which is really cool. So you can see against right-handed pitchers, they're pretty good. But one of the things that I want to check here is, well, on the projected batters, who are their last 30 plate appearances against right-handed pitching? How are they doing? You can see really well. Like, 107 WRC plus, 324 WOPA. All of this stuff, especially with plate discipline, is quite good, and that also is not really great for Luis Severino because he also walks a lot of guys. So this tells me right here that this may not be a great matchup. You can also see that he's facing a bunch of lefties in that opposing lineup, so you can just go back up here and you can see how is he doing against left-handed batters. Batted ball stuff, not great. Expected, pretty good. And then if I go into the game log, I want to just see, has he gotten roughed up lately? Has he been pitching well lately? And you can see in his last couple of starts, he has actually been okay. He had a good start there in Texas. He's thrown, basically almost 7 innings in each of those last 2 starts, which right there, that's also another indicator that, okay, might be due for a bad one here. So looking at the game logs, you can expand that. Obviously, for batters, you can see this for, 10, 20, 30 basically games. I'm sorry, 5, 10, and 15, I think is for batters. But batted ball is where you're going to go look at next. I'm going to go, well, how has he been getting hit really hard? And you can actually see in the last couple of games, his average EV is fairly high. He just hasn't really paid for it. And if I look at the last 2 games, you can see there's a couple of doubles here. So this is all your batted ball events. What's great about this is that you can see if the pitcher actually has been kind of like getting lucky in terms of giving up some really high sort of EV type of events and not giving up some big hits or home runs. So right here, this also kind of tells me that he might be liable for some heavier hits today. So then the last thing I do is I go and I look at, all right, well, let me go look at the hit rate. What is his line right here? And you can go and see, obviously, how he's performed, either on the over or the under. So over, that's already moved. I actually took that this morning at, I think it was like minus 129. And yeah, you can use this as kind of your way to validate from there. So this is just a quick example of how you can use the player card or player profiler. The way I would kind of look at it is, use the tables, filter down your list of guys that you want to go and start really diving deeper on, and then use the player profiler to kind of be that sort of last gateway to do each of your individual research. No more having to navigate to different tabs to do that. This is all available for you right here in the player cards.